I think of all Metallica records, Master of Puppets is their best one. Yeah, Ride the Lightning is quite close in terms of overall sound, songwriting, and ambition, but Master of Puppets has sort of a vibe that Ride the Lightning doesn't have. For starters, what an ambitious track list. Even if there are a few songs I like better than others, I can't deny how everything just works. It's true. Replace one of these songs or make a slight change to it, even production wise, or a single note. Every single thing here won't hit the same. Okay, maybe I'm glazing beyond anything, but even if I was, let's just say it's perfect. Alright, so we have a new record label dropping this album, and that is Elektra Records. Be gone! Megaforce Records. But it's still recorded in Denmark, because we can't forget about that. Production duties are of Flemming Rasmussen. This would also be the final album before Cliff Burns' unfortunate death on September 27th, 1986. This was caused by an accident on the band's tour bus. Master of Puppets was a hit among critics and metalheads alike, who praised the political themes of the album and also praised the instrumental work, because it does, without a doubt, kick ass. So if you remember Fight Fire with Fire, you remember that it started with acoustic guitar. This song kind of does the same thing, except halfway into the opening section, the metal instrumental just breaks into this melodic beauty, and you might assume to be the Metallica standard. However, they go all beyond that. Again, if I'm glazing, that's on me, my bad. But this might be the single most epic intro to any Metallica album ever, besides Blackened. But we're gonna get to that like next week. Everything just sounds so emphasized here compared to Ride the Lightning. It's exactly what I want from a follow up from that album. Right after that opening, there's the actual song. First thing I'll comment on is James Hetfield's vocals. Definitely a step up in his voice. He's also carrying the lyrical maturity from Ride the Lightning pretty well. The riff is awesome. One of their most aggressive riffs, at least that's what I would say. From a title like Battery, you most definitely expect it to be aggressive, and that's what it does. Now, the next song is a song that you guys better know, otherwise, what are you doing on this video? The title track is one of the most popular, arguably one of the best metal songs ever made. The riff is extremely iconic, and Hetfield continues to perfect his craft here. The song starts pretty aggressive and fast-paced, and then it transitions to one of the most effective build-ups in metal composition history. The way it transitions from a softer melodic solo to an epic chant to an even more epic solo is astounding, and one of the coolest things this band has ever composed, and one of the coolest things a band has composed in metal in general. It really shows how dynamic they got. The rest of the album would create even more dynamics and just continue that whole dynamic vibe we get the whole album. Next song is The Thing That Should Not Be, and yet again, another dynamic change. The Thing That Should Not Be has an absolutely killer riff. The way it sludges its way through the song is pretty sick. The solo is also really awesome, and it's just such a different thing on the album. I can't help but welcome it. To be honest with you, it's just, imagine this: you're listening to Master of Puppets, and you know, just finished Battery, and you're listening to Master of Puppets, and you're just like vibing with it. It's really great, and then all of a sudden, the Thing That Should Not Be shows up. Like, in my opinion, that was really just like, I think that it only took me like a few more listens to really realize that. But like, The Thing That Should Not Be, compared to the other songs, is pretty sludgy. Not like sludgy in terms of like sludge metal, but just sludgy in terms of just thrash metal. It's just kind of chunky. That's probably a better word. It's chunky. Alright, so next up is Welcome Home, and while I do appreciate how this song once again displays the dynamic switch-ups and quirks and the like, it's probably my least favorite track on the album, and I know, I'm sorry, but it had to be one of the songs that had to be my least favorite. I do have to compliment Hetfield, though, because he still is nailing that songwriting, and he is still nailing those vocals. And it's technically still a good song in terms of songwriting. I do like how it switched up the dynamic here. I just happen to prefer other songs, such as Disposable Heroes, which is pretty much my all-time favorite Metallica song in general. Now, I know that sounds crazy. We just got past Ride the Lightning, and I was listening to that album like religiously when I was thinking about this review. I mean Ride Lightning's review. Blech. Anyways, yeah. So basically, imagine Battery, Master Puppets, like the aggressiveness from those songs, and then imagine Welcome Home, like the songwriting capabilities from that song, and then combine it into one song. Disposable Heroes is absolutely amazing in terms of songwriting, aggressiveness. It's thrashy, it's really well written. Pretty much, it's like Master of Puppets, but better. Not in terms of like the theme or like the songwriting and all that stuff. It's the song is really just like, I think it's about war. I think I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, pretty cool song. Um, it's probably the best of the longest songs on the album. I'm talking like the 8-minute songs. That's by far my favorite, and it's also my favorite song on the album. Really like it. Next song we got is Leper Messiah. I don't really have much to say about this song other than the guitar work is pretty killer. Um, shit. Lars is a good drummer. No, I'm not even lying. He's not too bad on this album. He's alright. Lars, he's already gotten some controversy surrounding, drumming. Every time he picks up a drumstick, he just hears things in the back of his head. He's like, ooh, the bass, the bass. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, Lars is a whole entity on his own, but, like, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it in a couple weeks from now, but Lars, you got some things to do, man. Anyways, it's not that bad. I know I'm gonna get plenty of shit thrown at me for it. I know Lars gets plenty of shit thrown at him for his work in the band, but honestly, it's not that bad on this album. I'll tell you what is the complete opposite of bad, though. It's Orion. Orion. I find this song to be an interesting one because of the context of Cliff Burton passing. I mean, Cliff Burton passing, it honestly kind of affected the song in a way because one of the biggest things about this song is the bass. Like, he has a whole lead on here with his bass. And Cliff is just, he just nails it. This is his moment on the album. This is his moment in his career. And it's honestly very compelling and emotional that he actually got this last moment before he unfortunately passed away. So that was always very nice to me. And overall, it's just really kick-ass. I mean, this is a really great instrumental. Obviously, Cliff Burton, very great bassist, and he shows his potential here a lot, and he shows the dynamics of the band, everything like that. And then all of a sudden, Damage Incorporated. The final song is pretty much everything I want in a Metallica album to end with. It's thrashy as hell. It's like Battery, if I had to explain it. Another thing I love about this song was the build-up at the beginning. I love the sound of, I don't know what to call it. It's like, almost like a sample in a way. It's like synthy in a way. And, then right after that, you have the amazing guitar build-up. Just, something like that. Like, it's really cool stuff. And then all of a sudden you get this, like, thrash metal song, and it's very cool stuff. I love that song a lot. It is so good. And, it's probably the most fun song on the album, if I had to say. Like, if I didn't have to include something like, let's say Disposable Heroes, for example, or Battery, or, just very cool stuff. Anyways, Damage Incorporated, great way to close the album, and that's pretty much it in terms of this album. Master of Puppets, we're good. This is easily one of the best metal albums of all time. If you disagree, I don't know what to say. I'm pretty sure you all have heard this album at least once, but in case you need a refresher, go listen to it again. Best song is Disposable Heroes. Worst song is Sanitarium. I'm sorry. It just had to be selected. That's my least favorite. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. I would also like to end this video off by kind of apologizing for the kind of really shitty take that was the commentary on this video. And the reason why I did that is because I have a lot of shit to do. And so that's why I'm kind of rushing this video out, and because I sat on my ass for a little bit, and that's my fault, so my bad. And I'm on a very strict schedule, you know? So there's that.